Why have we been celebrating St. Valentine's all these years? You will soon know why. It is the start of a season where mass or many loving cleanses will be across all the acres of all the lands. Ever get a sudden pain, accident or not, that lasts for a moment, an hour, a day? Then it goes away? This is a sign a cleanse is in your near future. Know that the moon is always a trigger or a sign of a future physical or spiritual cleanse. On Thursday, January 28th, there will be a wolf full moon. This moon brings many messages that you will need to understand. What you're about to see is how this January 28th wolf moon is setting up a cleanse for Valentine's season. If you are good, your cleanse will be minimal to none. The wolf moon brings signs before the main event, the Valentine season. There will be two parts to this video. Part 1 will be about the moon's trigger or signs. Part 2 will be about the cleansing Valentine season. The full moon on the 28th is extremely important, as this brings forth many triggering spiritual messages. The moon also aligns with Hygeia, the goddess of cleanses, in midpoint Cancer, your energy field. Hygeia, whom cleanses your chakras, energy centers, is telling you to prepare and be aware. Pay attention, this will also be in part 2. The moon and Hygeia are also aligning across the sun, Lilith and Jupiter in midpoint of Capricorn, emerging from the waters. Lilith is the goddess or temptress who brings great spiritual strength to those whom resist materialistic temptations. Jupiter, the god of expansion or spiritual law, brings greatness to those whom support spiritual law. Next we have Pluto aligned with Venus in beginnings of Capricorn. Venus, the goddess of love, is ensuring all Mother Nature's beings are loved and safe. Pluto, god of subconscious regeneration, making metaphysical or spiritual changes, whether you like it or not. Next we have Mama's black moon aligned with Mars in Aries, our head. Mars, whom brings fiery change to your physical body, aligns with Mama's black moon, who will help you gain knowledge on when to say no. The last mention of these invigorating alignments that happens during the wolf full moon. Ceres is aligned opposite Vesta in Aquarius, the etheric baptismal waters, and Leo, your heart or hearth. Vesta, goddess of Vestal Virgin, are protectors of the eternal fire or hearth. Also remember Vesta for part 2. She aligns with Ceres, the goddess of harvesting souls. In medical astrology, you can see she plays a major factor in ensuring you are good. This ends part 1 on the wolf, full moon signs. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Cleansing coming, gotta be good, no choice. Welcome the definition of virus. It's a process, not a thing. Now for part 2, the cleanse. On February 15th, 2021, a special event starts that will escalate the cleansing before the new sun, which we will talk about in a later slide. You know the sun is getting brighter, right? June comes out of Annapurna, crossing over the plane of the moon's south and north nodes. Note that the south node is in Scorpio, procreation, opposite the north node in Taurus, earth and mother, Juno's home. Get it? Procreation, earth and mother, reincarnation. Now notice that the luminaries are on one side of the chart, out of Annapurna once again, leaving only the 2 luminaries we told you to remember in part 1. Hygeia and Vesta. Quick note for the technical peeps. This is at 23 degrees. Interesting, eh? We have Hygeia, goddess of cleanses in Cancer, your energy field, and Vesta, the protector of the hearth, in Leo, your heart or hearth. Again, this is no coincidence that they are the only 2 on one side of the chart. Know that this splits you right down the middle of your being, representing your spine, the pole of the Kundalini, or Caduceus. Before we wrap up, we will prove what we say. Note that Cancer and Leo split the lunar and solar houses. To the right we have feminine lunar houses, and to the left we have masculine solar houses. We'll talk more about this in Astrology 303, but for now know that this was known by the Egyptians. For more proof, you can see how important this event is by studying the Dendra zodiac from the Hathor temple in Egypt, which is just over 2,000 years old. Notice how Leo and Cancer split the line, with Cancer being closer to the middle, left for another video. Here is a blown up view. What do you think the Egyptians were trying to tell us with the only two breakaway markers that line up with what is presented here? We are studying the meaning of these glyphs, but know that they teach about a ceremonial metaphysical measure of the heart or hearth as light as a feather. One quick observation of many. Look at the spiritual waters being given to you under the sign of Aquarius to take you out of repeated re-embodiments or reincarnations. You still think a virus is a thing? 100% it is not. It's a timed, predictable cleanse. We are now in Aquarius, the cleansing, baptismal waters. Here's an excerpt of a future presentation explaining what happens for Easter 2022. In Revelation 12, I quote, "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun." The mother of all mothers aligns with the sun at 0 point Aries, or Arise. A new sun is born in the east, a physical sun and a metaphysical sun called You. Seen on the Dendra zodiac as reincarnation, re-embodiment, a new You. You know this female energy. This story is in every culture. Are you preparing yourself? Welcome to your personal Armageddon of material versus spiritual. No one is exempt. You need to take down your materialistic pillar. Remember the scene from Samson and Delilah? You will be given strength.
It moved.
The column's moving. You split the stone. The man has the strength of a devil.
No, the strength of a god.
Be more powerful than Samson. Hold it. Let him through.
We are now at the cusp of Aquarius. If your heart is not as light as a feather, then expect a cleanse. Whether you know astrology or not, I'm going to be spiritually honest with you. You need to release materialistic desires such as wasted sexual fluid that are not divine, doing not good things to beings including animals and insects, including eating them, drinking spirits, which are an actual spirit remover unless used in small quantities for medicinal purposes, wanting materialistic things that are not a necessity. You can do this. Besides, you have no choice. Special thanks to these beautiful people for all their passionate work. Peace and love. Words from within the song Stairway to Heaven. There's still time to change the road you're on.
Oh, 11/11.
There it is.
On
We're
February
recording
11th.
now. I'll just take the very beginning bit out. Anyway, so here we are. Today is the 11th of February. Hello, Claudio. Hello, James. We have
Hi,
James
hi.
with us.
Hello.
Hi, Claudia. Okay.
Yeah, so
James,
James
take care.
comes through my microphone. But I never expected when we organised this hangout that James was going to be here.
The SAMFU HQ.
Yeah, SAMFU HQ.
So awesome.
So we've come together today because you see a lot of things happening in the stars again, don't you, Claudia?
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. It's actually really beautiful. So
What we'll have done is we'd have played your video from the other day, but do you want to talk a bit more about it?
yeah, sure. Sure. It's pretty simple. If you guys remember, for those that have followed some of my previous videos, the Annapurana, that was where the Juno, which represents the Queen of the Heavens, which is also equivalent to Mary Magdalene, she was over all of the planets. So all the planets were on one side of the north and south node, and she was on top. So basically, she was governing, looking, watching over us all. She's representative of the earth and mother. Well, she now is going underneath between the north and south node with all the planets, and only two luminaries are going to be out. And the positioning of these two luminaries is crazy important. You have Vesta, the Virgin.
This is leading up to Valentine's Day, isn't it?
Right. So Vesta, the Virgin, the Vestal Virgins, the protector of the hearth, your heart, and Hygeia are going to be splitting the zodiac, which is right at your, basically your spine, right down your middle. Vesta is going to be in Leo, and Hygeia is going to be in Cancer. And this happens right on Valentine's, which is the 15th. Know that this is explained to us as Candlemas. Candlemas is in the Bible. It's in different forms of writings, but that's what it is. And Candlemas, which is a ceremonial event that churches light their candle. And it used to be on February the 2nd, which we know as Groundhog Day. And then it was moved after the 4th century, 4th quarter of the 4th century. I think that's what it was exactly. It was moved to the February the 14th. So you get the 2 dates of Groundhog and that of Valentine's. So, but we also know that this happens exactly on the 15th. And when you look up on Wikipedia, it shows you that on Candlemas, this is the presentation of Jesus at the temple. So what's happening is these two are over top of the chart. Starting Valentine's, it's not a day, it's a season. So this whole event that's happening lines up with the Dendra zodiac. It's actually there, shows you. So they were telling us that this event was going to happen. The astrologers of the past thought it was February 2nd. They thought it was February 14th. And somebody obviously knew it was going to be on the 15th because that's there in Wikipedia. So it's the presentation of Jesus at the temple. So in other words, this is significant of you understanding that this is actually happening physically and metaphysically. So when you light that candle, you're understanding the flame and you're understanding that this is about you. This is about you getting a new sun. As you know, the sun's getting brighter. The sun, and then they call it global warming. But if you look at the sun, you can just notice that there's something different about it. It seems bigger. It seems brighter. The light is different. I mean, a friend of mine, Dave Carlson, has a friend who deals with solar panel design, and they've changed the parameters because or else you can't do a good design. So Valentine's is the start of the season of this continued cleanse, but in a good way. So what's happened today, I just put out a part 2 to this video, is today the full moon, which brings us a new sun, is sitting exactly on that same line between Cancer and Leo, on the opposite side between Aquarius and Capricorn. So that new moon is exactly down that same spot that those two are going to be sitting over. And they're going to be sitting over there, watching over the whole chart for months until Mars comes out. So what does this all mean to us? Without getting into too much detail, for people that don't understand astrology, we are being cleansed. And the cleanse is about your being, because that's what Cancer represents, is your magnetic field, your field, your being. And then your heart, Leo the heart, Vesta the Vestal Virgin. Are you pure? Are you doing everything that you should be doing? So you know Valentine's is representative of hearts, right? And the arrows being shot at you to clean up, to cleanse. Are you pure? So this is the Valentine's of all Valentines is upon us. Candlemas is happening. We should all be lighting a candle on Valentine's, saying that we know that we are the ones that are going to be illuminated. So this is in preparation for when Mary rises with the sun, which is astrologically happening in Easter of 2022. So in order for us to cleanse, we just have to pay attention. You don't have to go and learn astrology, but you got to pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the animals, what they're saying to you. Because the gopher coming out of the hole is very significant because he's coming from below. And so is the Virgin Mary, Isis, Persephone, Mictacawatl, whatever you want to call her. She's coming from the underworld, from Pisces, into our head, Aries. So Candlemas, the second portion of Candlemas, is just that. It is the purification of the Virgin Mary. Read it up. So both these events are happening. They're happening in the sky. So, I mean, astrology.
So what
We
you're
talk
saying
about
is
astrology.
they made it a romantic day for us, but it means something completely different, really.
Yeah, it's a romance with spirit. It's a connection with your heart, with spirit. And it's actually physically happening now. Us celebrating is just breadcrumbs to hang on to the celebration for this event. Like I said, over 2,000 years ago, this event was etched in stone in Egypt. That's a calendar for us. We left that for us to know when this time comes. The whole world is cleansing, is it not?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a corona virus. Oh no, we have to change it to COVID, which means corona. It's a
Yeah.
corona cleanse. So that means the sun is lighting up every one of your organs because your organs are your chakras. They are your colors. They are your
The thing is,
rainbow.
Claudio,
So if the sun's,
they want us filled up with masses of crap, don't they? Though, if you know what I mean. And the
yeah,
wrong, and the wrong, and the wrong,
we,
wrong vibe.
well, it's all about temptations of Christ. We are the Christ. We are a God. We can manifest. We can create with our mind, right? And it's about temptations. So we could have always said no to everything. But this is all part of a lesson. So it's by design. That's why I've gotten off of the they thing. There's just our brothers and sisters who just took it a little too far, and I pray for them. So we talk about astrology, we talk about Mother Nature, and we talk about the Bible. They're all there together. The gopher is very symbolic of Mother Mary, Isis, whatever, coming from the underworld into the day, into our head, into our temple. So what this Valentine is the season for us to pay attention. If we don't, you're going to get all kinds of signs that you might not like to get on track. I have a friend, we do his chart. He just refuses to not do one thing that is part of his whole cleanse. And I told him months ago, February is not going to be good for you. Kept doing it, and man, he's just getting whacked and whacked and whacked and whacked. He's getting the mother of all mothers wooden spoon. Or at time the slipper, right? The Italians used to throw the slipper at you. So everything is an allegory of our whole life. Now it's time to get that same spanking from mother for not being good. If you're good, you're golden. But the whole thing of this whole Candlemas was about us being able to know and see and physically know that this is what's happening. We are the light, every one of us. We are the one that's supposed to cleanse. We're being shown that this is happening. And you lighting a candle means I get it. This is me. We are getting the new sun. That new sun is in April 2022. That new sun is going to be in our temple. That is going to light up our crown chakra. And you've always heard so many people saying that, hey, this is before we stumbled upon this. Yeah, once your crown chakra gets all your chakras clean up and you're freaking golden, you're beautiful and everything's going to be awesome. Well, now here we have it. It's actually happening in the sky. It's in the Bible. All the ancients celebrated this date. The Egyptians wrote it on their wall. We're getting cleansed. It's the new you.
Is that what every Valentine Day is about, or is it just this one in particular? Claudio? Is
The,
that what you're
like
saying?
I said, that was holding on to the breadcrumbs so we don't lose the thought of it happening and understanding why. People are saying, I don't understand why I'm cleansing. I found your video. It makes too much sense. The last person that just commented on my part 2, he said, 9 years ago, this lady that used to come clean the house left me this candle. Now I know why she left me the candle. It was for today. So that gives me goosebumps. It's absolutely invigorating. So, I mean, we know the flame is representative of the sun, right? So they're lighting those candles, and we held on to Valentine's Day not knowing what it is just so we can talk about it today. But this is the real season. When you watch the part 1 and part 2, you'll hopefully get a better understanding. It's hard to, in a couple of short videos, I try to make them short so they're not boring and long, to say, this is the meaning of life. It's very difficult to get it across. How do you get that message across in a beautiful way? But when you know deep in your heart that it is absolute truth.
I found this on the web.
Absolute truth. Like Siri's listening. I don't know why she's listening, but all of a sudden I found this on the web, so it must have heard me say Siri or something.
You cannot be serious.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So deep in my heart, I know this is truth, and I know it without a shadow of a doubt. It's undeniable. It's written in the Dendera Zodiac. It's happening in the stars in the sky. They've celebrated it. It's in the Bible. The famous there's a painting by Hans Holbein, the elder, and it's called The Presentation of Jesus at the Temple. When you look at that painting, you'll see it's another allegory of the 12 zodiac signs and the sun, and there's Mother Mary holding the sun, ready to be baptized. And that's what we're doing. We're going through the baptismal waters of Aquarius. So it all aligns. So this Valentine's is the season, and it's not the day, it's a season. This is our cleanse before April 2022. Now, this is making assumptions that what happens in the sky that NASA tells us is exact. It may be off by a year. I don't think so, though, because doing medical astrology charts and just watching the different things that happen to me and others around us, family and friends, we think we got it pretty much keyed in, down to like within 20 minutes when things happen to you. So the ancients used Spica's in Virgo, as lining up the zodiac. NASA is off by 23.5 degrees. That is precession. The astronomers have no idea, and that's why they don't like the zodiac, because nothing will fit with it. If you use it that way, it won't fit. Don't forget, for those who are listening on here, this is sidereal, exactly what's in the sky. It's equal house, and it's 12 houses, not 13, like some people are saying. Ophiuchus is very important, but it's not the 13th sign that goes around the zodiac. That's proven with the repeating 60 numbers, the Fibonacci, the Da Vinci Code. So the Holy Grail that everybody's looking for is this. The Holy Grail is the recognition of this, that we're getting a new sun, and you're getting lit up. Like the 7 colors of the rainbow, you're getting lit up. Every one of your colored chakras, your organs,
So
your
this is
music.
happening every year for us. So the season is the beginning.
No, Karen.
Just
No.
this one.
No, just this one. That was just a remembrance of this day. The way the alignments are, Karen, they don't happen every year. It's only happening this day, just like the coronavirus happened only this year, which we predicted before mass media decided to profit off of it, and that's what they did.
Is this where where it's supposed to be? What you're saying, going in yourself, all that kind of stuff, but they'll be doing some horrible function for us instead.
No. Nothing can stop you from cleansing. The only thing that you can do is stick something in your body thinking that it's going to help you, where it can be actually worsen the cleanse. Make your cleanse even harder. Because one thing you don't want to do, well, they have beta blockers, they have this, all the things that block processes from happening. All they're doing is changing the vibration of your body.
Stopping natural processes from happening.
And it's stopping natural processes from happening, like my wife just said. Absolutely. So
You can always join the hangout, you know, if you want, Claudio.
Yeah, I know. I've asked her. This also goes not only with what you let in your mouth, what you let in your five senses. It's what you let in your third eye. If you're watching TV, if you're watching things that aren't good, you're filling yourself up. The vibrations in your subconscious and your conscious
I don't think a lot of
filling up
people
with
get that one though, Claudia, about what you fill your mind up with, what you're watching. They just don't care, do they? Those ones. But
well, but here's the thing. But guess what? Then the anxiety attack, all types. I'm trying to say these. All sorts of things that aren't a pleasant feeling will happen to you as those have to get purged out too. Those vibrations, although you don't know are in there, they still vibrate the water in the mass between your skull and whatever you want to call it. I'm not a
Spirit.
So your being has the top chakra, the purple one. That purple one won't be pure purple. In order for it to be pure purple, right, it's going to have to cleanse. The cleansing process of that is all the things you see with people not feeling good mentally. So the more you put in, just like getting injections, the more your body has to work to get it out. So it's not just smell, taste, touch, feel, all those things. It's in your mind too. So if you're watching things that aren't good, if you're watching movies that show people not getting along, doing things to each other, even though it's just, oh no, but it's not real, you're letting it in. I can't say this and stress this enough.
so we need to be cleansed out right now. We need blinkers
images,
on right now.
Right, those images need to be cleared out. Every drop of water contains the memory of everything. So every drop of water in your being has every vibration you let in, physically and metaphysically. So my recommendation to people, if you don't feel good, let go of everything. Don't watch TV unless you're watching a beautiful comedy, something that brings you joy, something that makes you feel good. If you're watching all these sci-fi movies and all that stuff where things are happening to people, that's not good. That's going to have to be cleansed out of you. If you don't feel it right now, that's fine, but you will. But you will. Like Kathy says, you want to take things in that lift your spirit. This is what this is about.
That's what James has been doing. He's been doing my garden.
Oh, I've noticed.
Beautiful.
Yesterday was like the first day we've had any sort of decent sun. It's like it had that feel of spring, and then those two white swans went across. And today I went out to the back of the garden, and the sun came out, and I thought, "Oh, this is lovely." Actually, Claudia, I wanted to ask you something. All the other key players, I believe they're all in Aquarius at the moment as well.
No, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It's going to be Capricorn. So starting today / tomorrow, there will be 12 luminaries in Capricorn.
Ooh.
The people that are saying they're in Aquarius, they're using the shifted NASA profit monger astrology. Okay, you can't do medical astrology and you can't predict the stock market when you use that astrology. So that's why they never pushed it, because the billionaires, why would they push their secrets to you? Because they want it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not in Aquarius. They're in Capricorn. So, and they have great meaning, especially palace in there, because cities are domain.
Capricorn, like those people, like Capricorn sign is about like they like being in control.
I don't see it that way. Capricorn is about abundance. It's, if you heard of the cornucopia, that's to do with Capricorn. Capricorn is to do with emerging from the waters. That's why it's a half goat, half fish. It's a mermaid.
If I was
The
doing
mermaid-
astrology, my bit, Claudio, a Capricorn, they always like to get to the top, and they're going up the mountain, but then they get stuck in some clouds sometimes up the mountain, and then they don't like that because they like to get to the top because they like to be in control. They like to be the boss. Capricorns make
not her.
bossy.
Yeah, I can't comment on that. All I know is that you're not just your sun sign, and most people think they're a Capricorn, and it's 23 degrees off.
It's
So
even
you may
worse than
still
that
be.
because if you've got to use the sidereal one as well, you put me down as a Taurus. I'm not a Gemini, I'm a Taurus.
That's
So you
right.
need the mixture of both of those. So in fact, it's quite complicated at the end of the day, isn't it, astrology?
Well,
No,
sometimes
it's actually really simple.
No,
It's
I
actually
mean,
really
for
simple.
anybody
It's
that doesn't
complicated to learn.
understand it's a lot of different things to go in there. But it isn't as
Yeah.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, it's especially difficult when, or let me rephrase it, especially not easy when it's off. So it's off by 23.5 degrees. The seasons aligned with
So I'm really a
the
Taurus
zodiac.
then. I'm not really a Gemini. I'm a Taurus.
Your sun sign is Taurus, Kurth. You are your whole chart. Your sun
Right.
sign is Taurus. Your moon sign is something where every one of those luminaries is you. You can't just say it. So people are asking me, can you do a report for me? I'll pay you. I said, no, first of all, we do it for free, but you don't just get a report. You got to go through your chart and understand who you are and see what your triggers are and see what your life lessons are. And when you click and connect with those, you know who you are. So it's a time process. And I tell people,
Maybe that's it.
I don't mind doing it.
About this message, one of the biggest things for mankind you can do is learn who you are as a person. Because once you know,
And that,
you're gonna you'll have your own ideas, and then you won't be going, oh, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. People who don't know who they are don't know.
and every one of the discomforts and dis-eases that we have are in the chart. They're there as lessons. The only way those are going to go away is if you understand them. Now, you don't need astrology to do that, but if you can imagine that certain things are happening to you for a reason, it's not that difficult to figure out why. If you're having problems with your procreation devices, there's a reason why. There's a reason for all those. And I know people who are are feeling those things, and they know exactly why. So if we've been doing all these things that aren't good our whole life, we're either going to repay them next life or we finish them this life. And it's not easy going through them. And I'm speaking on behalf of my own physical body, which is not me. That's the other thing. The realization of this Candlemas, this Valentine season, is knowing that you are not your physical body. You are a soul, an embodiment for this lesson, a manifestation.
I think what you're talking about as well is the spiritual side of things. A lot of people do understand and will understand what you're saying. There's a lot of people who aren't spiritual.
Right. See, Ken Wheeler does this awesome explanation of using a radio and a pencil. The radio doesn't have a signal. If you want to just use this, he says, don't take the analogy too far, but the radio is your body and the signal is your soul. If you smash the radio, is there still a signal? Well, yes, there is. So then he goes on to say about the pencil, and let's say the pencil is, he holds it in his hand and say, let's say the pencil is your body. If you don't know that and you always relate yourself to the physical body, when you pass, you will be looking for another body. And that's reincarnation. That's primordial agnosis. Not knowing, because gnosis is knowing, agnosis means not knowing. Knowing that this is the truth. So coming out of Piscean age and going into Aquarius is our re-understanding of this. We all knew this before. It's impossible to not know because the Egyptians knew. The Egyptians, and God bless the Egyptologists, are doing their best, but without the premise of the primordial agnosis, you will never know that all those stories of Horus are about you and what you are going to experience. They left that, we left that for ourselves so that we'd reacquaint ourselves with spirit, with soul, which is one. Now, you don't have a soul and I have a soul and James has a soul. No, no, it's the same soul.
Yeah.
It's the same soul. It's the 011. It's the first one. The first one of the Trinity is an image of source. So this is what this whole thing is about. Light a candle when you get it. When you understand this, is to light a candle. That's why this, although we've forgotten what the true meaning is, they're saying the true meaning is about Jesus reuniting, the second coming of Jesus. Well, no, the son comes back again with the mother. It's cyclical. But it's up to us if we want to get off the merry-go-round. And the only way to get off the merry-go-round is to stop identifying with this body, which is not the self, the not self.
The way
when you realize that this, go ahead.
So I was going to say the way I've had it described, it makes sense. Is when you get in a car, you don't become the car.
Right. Exactly.
The way this whole anti-nature program of the opposition to make this more interesting is doing everything to convince us we're our personality, our ego, and hide the fact that we're eternal spirit. And we're just a personification of the Creator in individualized form, the living God, as it were.
100%. 100%.
All I know is, I mean, personally, things look bleak, but that they only look bleak because I can only see now. But internally, I feel excellent. I feel that I'm going to be fine. Everything's going to work out. I just feel it, and that's the feeling has never let me down. So I've got to run with that.
You know, I had this thought this morning. There we go. That's why in the Olympics, they keep that flame, that torch burning.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. The everlasting flame.
Yeah.
We are eternal.
All these things that are shown externally seem to be dropping big hints. It seems to be twisted into a physical play out of something that's actually spiritual from the unseen.
Yeah. It's just the merry-go-round takes us to this point where we have to learn that with the least amount of love, this is what happens. And that's the Piscean age. We were very illuminated 2,000 plus years ago. It's all the Egyptians, which were us, were very illuminated. But then, guess what? We dropped from the Aryan age into the Piscean age. That's a jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
When did this happen exactly?
A couple of thousand years ago. Jesus, the fish. That's why Jesus is the age, because it's a Piscean age, and Jesus is now it's Piscean. So Piscean means redshifted. Now we're going into Aquarian. So Aquarian's not as redshifted, right? But at the same time, who's coming to help us in our blue shift, our purple shift, whatever, top chakra, is the mother of all mothers. She cycles 4 times. There's 4 seasons in an age. She comes around with the sun 4 times in a season. 4 times in an age. So now she's rising with the sun in the east in April 2022 in Aries. So the sun, here's a story of the mother coming back to save the son. And there's always 2 around Jesus, Mary and Mary Magdalene. There's 2 Marys. Oh, wow. That's Juno and Eris, Isis and Nephthys. Queen of the heavens and queen of the underworld. Queen of the heavens is which represents our earthen mother, our mother who's here, who's watching after us. and the mother that we don't see. Well, she's come back. In order to, when she comes back, the house has got to be clean. The 12 houses, the 7 chakras, have to be clean. So we're being cleansed. All the luminaries are cleansing us before this happens. So this whole thing of trying to stop the cleanse, you're not doing yourself any satisfaction. And if you think that man is going to help you through this with an injection, I'm sorry, but that doesn't cut it. Because now you're identifying yourself with this body again. You don't see that we're
That
infinite.
injection would stop it, wouldn't it? Anyway,
Make it harder.
I really don't know about what it is. It is a vibration in your mind that you have lack of bravery. You have lack of bravery. Why? Because you don't know you're infinite. So if you don't know you're infinite, then there's the pencil thing that Ken does. He drops the pencil, and then the hands keep looking around for that with his eyes closed. That's what's going to happen. You're going to keep looking for a body to come back. That's the analogy, but it's a reality, and that's what the Egyptians write on their walls with the Ka and the Ba. See, they keep
what's happening with Mercury retrograde?
Well, Mercury retrograde, which goes in retrograde a lot because it's next to the moon, it's a fasting moving spirit, angel, light. When it goes retrograde, it means we need to go in thinking about our past lives and our future lives and our current life. So obviously you don't have to think about the before and the after, but our current life, what can we do to change the path that we're on? When people say, but this is my path, I'm staying on my path, so that's fine. Your body wants to stay on its path, and it will be tempted to stay on its path, so you have repeated rebirths. But that's what this whole process is about right now, is making you aware of that. No, you can skip grades. You can get off those paths by making the conscious choice of, no, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not going to drink. No, I'm not going to have excessive amount of waste of bodily fluids. No, I'm not going to eat meat. No, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I'm going to be happy. Yes, I'm going to be brave. And when things happen to me, it's for a reason. It's trying to keep me on my path. But once you start jumping into this water, or thought currents, as James likes to put it, once you jump into that, watch the guidance. You'll start driving and every light will be green. You'll pull up into a parking lot. Somebody pulls out right there and you get a parking spot right away. Somebody's holding the door open for you. That's a gate. That's a gateway. You don't see a physical gateway. You feel it. And it's beautiful. And it's absolutely invigorating when it happens to you. The animals will be giving you signs like you have no idea. The animals are in the Bible for a reason. Everything they do is a lesson for us, is a guidance. Just like the gopher coming out of the hole, he's coming from the underworld. Just like Mama's coming back from the underworld. That's why it's a celebration. Good old man in his cloudy third eye thought he could make money off of it. God bless.
Beware of false profit.
Right.
Profits as in financial.
And you know, our pixels always come down to.
Well, I'm sure everybody's noticed their lives have probably changed quite a lot in the last year. I mean, even if not before that, our lives were changing anyway. We all noticed it with who we were with, our families, our friends, all of it. I think for a lot of us, we're already, most people must be aware of things are changing in their lives. That's what I think, Claudio.
Well, 100%. But the best piece of advice I can give that I've learned by standing on the shoulders of greats is you have to realize and see this light that's upon us right now, that the new norm is way better. And if you're thinking you're going to go back to
do you think it's different for someone like? Sorry,
I
is
gotta
it
finish the
different for
sentence.
someone like you? Because your whole life has changed, hasn't it? You're not American, you're Canadian. You've got a home in Canada, but you don't in America. You're staying in America and you're living in someone else's house. You've lost your home. I don't mean it rudely. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying, all the comforts you've had to change. You've had to change your life, haven't you? You want to be near your grandchild, don't you? So that's why you're where you are at the moment with this
100%,
Lyris.
100%,
But
100%.
you've had to change everything. You've lost a lot of all your security. Yeah.
No, I didn't lose my home. We're just here, right?
You did.
But I mean,
yeah, I know. Sorry, but you've had to move.
yeah.
You've moved out. You're living somewhere
And
else.
I'm okay. I'm
You're
okay with that.
happy.
I just don't want people to say
Yeah.
you didn't lose your home. It's all. Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is, you've gone from you're not in your own home. You're in someone else's. You've not probably got not your furniture with you. You're living in someone else's place. The whole thing. You've changed a lot, so you can see it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, and I accept it because what the lesson is Kathy and I are learning to live without. And the new norm, if you're praying for the old norm to come back, then you're gonna keep cleansing. Because we will be more spiritual, everybody, coming out of this. It's a physical impossibility not to. Knowing what happened in the past.
The best thing you can do going through it all is to know who you are as a person. That helps you through it all.
Yeah, that definitely helps you. But just look at the signs. If something is making you feel not good, that's a cleanse. No matter what it is, physically, spiritually, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever is making you feel not good, it's a lesson and it's a cleanse.
And sometimes it's other people that trigger them, isn't it, Claudio? It's other people that trigger them. People that you thought cared about you are not very nice to you or something. They trigger that for you.
That's all external.
Yeah, but sometimes a soulmate that isn't all what you're thinking.
But that's spirit doing that for a reason.
Yeah.
That means when those things happen, it's our lesson, not theirs.
Yeah, it's a reflection as a reminder.
Right, something needs to change.
I thought about this what was it, about 2015, when you get in a situation, you think, oh, why do I have to work with this person? They're awful, and that's just a reminder of don't be like that. Don't be like them.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. We have to be the role models. If we're the ones that are able to speak about this, where 95% of the world, maybe let's say 70, because I think people are waking up a lot faster than we can even imagine. And 70% of the world have no idea what we're talking about, and they think we're not right.
I think they do, though, because when I was out on the streets, when we and James were out yesterday, nobody on the street is wearing a mask, only in the supermarkets. So they do know.
I don't.
No, we don't. We don't wear masks anyway, but they do know what's going on. They just choose what they want to know, isn't it?
No, I'm talking about what's upon us with this new light, Karen. This discussion that we're having right now, 70% of the population has no clue that this is upon us right now.
Right.
But they will. So we, for some reason, our charts made us talk about it first. So we have to be the role models and not let anything bring us to dis-ease. And dis-ease can mean temperament, it can be any of the 7 virtues.
I've been in quite a bad mood lately.
Bringing that up again.
You know I've been in quite a bad mood lately. Get rid of the bad
but
mood.
you got to start. But see, you're owning that word, Karen. You need to say, I want to be in a good mood. I want to be, yeah.
I've been struggling.
I know, but those words vibrate your essence. I use the word, I've not been feeling good lately. I want to feel more good. I have not had an easy time lately. I want to feel more at ease. When you start using those words, because you paint pictures, when you use those words, the other words that you use, Karen, somebody will picture you like that. what they're doing is they're vibrating you to that state. So don't let anybody visualize you that way. See, we have, and I used to be the same way, oh, woe was me kind of thing, right? When you do that, people will picture you that way and give that strength, which you don't want. So if you paint a picture that I'm good, you know, of course we all have our lessons in the background. We can choose to talk about them,
Next
but I will
time I
talk
go
about
to
them
see my kids, I want Claudio. Next time I go to see my kids, I want Claudio there on the phone so he can help me through it.
If every word that comes out of your mouth is positive, watch the reaction. Watch the reaction.
Do you think we're not positive people anymore?
No, it's actually the reverse. We are changing from not positive to positive, more balanced.
Cool. Do you mean to say that we're walking down the road and everybody will be going, hello, how are you? Would you like me to help you? I mean, people are going to start changing.
Yes. Watch this.
I personally go with the idea of remembering the future. So before you go out, you imagine after whatever you're about to do, and you think that went really well, and I've tested this so many times, and it goes that way every time, which also shows that time is not linear.
100%.
You're projecting out how you want it to go, and it radiates from the energy you put out when you go out. The early signs of this cleansing and this.
Yes, your body is a planter of seeds. Your being and its vibration, its magnetic field, whatever you want to call it, plants seeds. If you're vibrating in a way that people don't want to hear, you will bounce off them like two spinning tops. Another analogy that Dave Carlson said the other day that clicked very well with me. If you're spinning the same direction, you won't even be touching each other, you'll just be spinning together, those two batting tops. If I can give an analogy, not an analogy, an actual physical experience. So Kathy and I were staying with two dear friends. We were staying with them for a couple months, and it's tight quarters, but we all got along great. But we just knew that it was time to move on. So we started looking for a place to stay, although our pixels aren't very abundant right now, and we don't have much choice. So we do a couple things, then something delayed me, and I just know when this starts happening that I need to do this for a reason, and then end up at a stoplight, and there's somebody who's in need right in the middle of the street with a sign. I pull out my small pixels out of my pocket and I give him $20 US. His face lit up. He looked at me, and you can tell by the way he was talking that he was deaf. Great big smile. Thank you, brother. God bless you. You know, he folded aside and left. You can go get something to eat. When we got home, I got an email from somebody who was interested in renting this property that we have, right? Because nothing's selling, nothing's renting, because we have to learn to live without. So the lady that wanted to rent, she's deaf. And she wants to come and use our place with two other deaf couples. This is the way it works, people. This is the role model. These are the stories. These are the things you have to do. You have to vibrate with love and give. That's planting of seeds. If you're in need of something, go plant seeds to those who need it, and then you'll get yours. Don't chase the pixels, chase the love. The pixels will follow. Like, they're still flabbergasted when we think about it. So we were able to rent this beautiful trailer from a couple in Quebec. It's a beautiful little trailer park. It's like, I feel like I'm in Mayberry. There's hardly any people here, and it's an over 55, and you see some beautiful ladies sitting on their front porch, and it's, what's that?
You moved then?
Karen? Yeah, so then we were able to afford to come in, and we just went out for dinner last night. It's my wife's birthday yesterday, and we went out for dinner with the couple that we stayed with, our friends, and it felt like forever that we were apart. It's only been a week, and it felt like we never left, both at the same time. We also had the exact same feeling, but we learned so much together. We bonded so much spiritually. It's crazy. So these are the type of things that you got to start seeing this light that's upon us. This is happening. It's for real. And it's not one-ofs like in the past. Because you go look up all the stories of all these people and all these greats, you know, all these people that were awake, and you go look at what's happening in the stars, and there's nothing there. It was just their chart. This time it's in everyone's chart. It's happening in the sky. And depending what your chart looks like, you're just going to be before others. There's no such thing as time, like you said. So it's not a race. It's not who goes first, because we're all one anyway. So this is what's upon us. Light a candle on the 15th. Even if you don't understand it fully, light a candle. Light a candle. It's in the Bible. It's in astrology. The animals are showing us. It's incredible. Hopefully, watch the 2 videos, give me some feedback, ask questions, whoever's listening. Like
2
I said,
videos you
the
want me to put up, Claudio?
Well, you can put the part 2 right behind if you want.
You want me to put part
The
1 and
second one.
part 2 on?
Sure. Why not?
We put part 1 at the beginning and part 2 at the end.
Sure. However you want to do it. Or just, you don't have to, you can play them if you want, or just tell people where they're at. It doesn't matter. See, the thing is those who are supposed to see it will go see it.
I'll add them
That's
in,
why there's that's why there's millions and billions of views of the stuff that isn't important. And the stuff that it is.
Oh, I know.
Is,
Really unimportant thing has millions of views.
Right. So, and the other ones, I just call it one fish at a time. One at a time is good fishing. But once you get into this state of mind, then it's catchy. And then as you get to this point where you feel very stable, you feel very connected, it's done. It's finished. You know you're infinite. Everything else that's happening is not you. This is just your physical you. So it becomes invigorating, and you get to wrap your arms around it with love. And when you walk down the street, and animals, insects, the wind gives you a nice little hug. The trees, it's when you walk by and all of a sudden a tree starts quaking or shaking and blowing in the wind as you walk by. This is the type of things you can expect. This is the new norm we're going to expect.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And it's happening in the sky. It's happening in the sky. Yeah. So
there's some wonderful things happening. What I'll do, I'll put your 2 videos into the playlist under astrology and mention it on the next video I make. So that'll be a few more people that hopefully will see it. And, well, it'll those that I think will see they'll find it anyway. But could just give them a pointer and say, have a look at this, have a listen to this. It's beautiful what's happening.
Well, it's happening to James.
It's really true. It's happening to everybody.
It's not just happening. It comes down to where the attention goes, the energy flows. So if you're looking at all the external, then that's what you're going to get. And we've also got this. It was shown in the physical 19, 20 years ago, 2 in 1. It's the dialogue between the conscious and the subconscious, the union within one, the embodiment. That's how I describe it. You incorporate and you embody as opposed to incorporate and reincorporate. The correct key word or the key part of that word is the in again. Go within.
100%.
And also, it is very hard with external things, isn't it? Like, I don't know whether you struggle or see any of this, Claudio, but when the people around you are nasty and horrible, you've got to remember not to take any notice of what they're doing. They're not responsible for them.
Well, the only thing is, if it's like this, Karen, if that doesn't happen anymore to me at all anymore. It used to. The thing is if it's happening to you, if it's in your vision, it's there for you. You're being shown that for a reason. Trust me.
A
I get
re-sun.
tempted.
Relighting that
I
candle.
get tempted in
Re-sun,
several different
yeah.
ways. I get tempted still today in different ways. And I always just turn my head and just, I laugh. And I talk to the luminary that's responsible for that. I even able to see it in my chart saying, oh, you're here, thank you very much. And just laugh along with them. They're personalities. They are for real. They're not just lights.
Yeah.
They are us in a more light role. Not back to source yet. They're there as our guides. It's by design. Perfectly orchestrated by design. So when something comes in your view, it's not by, oh wow, wonderful. That poor person. No. If you saw that, there's a reason you're seeing it. There's something you need to cleanse and change in your life. Whatever it is you're surrounded by, it's something that you need to work on. That's what everybody needs to realize. So if there's repeated things coming...
So everybody thinks that, oh, I've learned that now. Oh, I'm there now. They don't realise you've always got to be growing and learning, otherwise you die.
Yeah, well, we
Inside.
never die. We never die. The physical body dies, and then we come back and try again after being purified. So we're like the gopher, sleeping for the whole winter, resting, purifying, then comes out and tries it again. So the soul doesn't die. It just comes back till you get it right.
And anyway, you're always happier when you're learning, aren't you?
If you're learning the right things, oh yeah, it's invigorating. If something is repeatedly happening to you, it's your message, nobody else's.
So that's your important part. And thank you so much for making all those videos, Claudio.
You're welcome. Welcome. And I'm speaking from experience, and I'm still getting the tests, and I still have physical tests as well. So I know their karmic attachments. So I'm not there yet, but it's not me. This physical body is not me, so it doesn't matter. It tries to get me sometimes. I don't let it. But I don't take any pharmaceuticals to stop the cleanse from happening. That's key. You have to take what you take, but try to get it as more natural as possible. We've just helped somebody and prove to them that, no, your heart did what it did because what's in its chart, and you've been taking these pills for 4 years. He's off of the pills, and his blood pressure is perfect. And he's eating cleaner. And he's monitoring, and he's fine. Know that when you have these physical symptoms, it's in your chart as for you for some reason. If it was your heart, there is cleansing in your heart needing to happen. Is your heart as pure as it's supposed to be? That's what those 12 zodiac signs are there for. They're 12 states of your being. There's no coincidence that Taurus is across from Scorpio. The mother bull, that's Juno, the queen of the heavens, home, is across from Scorpio. The one who procreates is your genitals, procreation. They're across from each other for a reason. If you're not using that in a divine way, you got some cleansing happening there. It's very evident in people's charts. I've done enough of them to know that this absolutely works, but if you use the wrong astrology, you'll never find it. You'll never see that it's right there in front of your eyes. And that's why the billionaire, I know we keep saying this, but the billionaire J.P. Morgan said in the 1920s he was a billionaire. That better be a trillionaire today. Millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. And there ain't no 13th sign around the wheel. The 13th point is in the middle. And you got to use all the luminaries. Vesta, Hygeia, Isis, Eris, Juno, Pallas, all of them. You got to use them. People don't use those. So if you don't use all the luminaries and you're just using the seasons and just using the 7 planets and then the other 3 on the outside, and not Chiron, the link between them, then you're not seeing it. And how do I know? Who did I follow? They presented themselves to the sky to me to show me. They're showing me in the sky. They've taught me the right way, and I know it works. You guys still there, or did I lose you?
Yeah, well, you do a lot of work,
Okay.
don't you? Do lots of people's charts, don't you? So you've got.
Yes, you know why? Because I want to help them. I want to help them, and I want to learn more so I can help the next person and help them so they can help somebody. Absolutely. But I just pulled up the swan, the meaning of the swan. Be brave in your role as guardian. Defend what is right. By the swan.
Ah, excellent.
Just asking. So you think that was really good when those swans were flying by the
Yeah,
other day? Their
not-
wings were going woof, 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 as they were flying. James went, ah.
I've not looked up the spiritual meaning, but I just know it is highly significant and it's something good.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
flew over our head.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it was a magical moment in nature.
So there's a friend that we had a moment, shall we say, and the outcome could have been better. And I kept self-analyzing, and I didn't know why my bodily reactions. It's just an aura that came above me. It was almost like it was intentional for that to happen. Well, a few days later, I could still feel a little bit of a tension. A bee came into my presence, just out of nowhere. I look up and it says, "Today is time to be forgiving." So I went and apologized, and that made everything better. So the animals are there talking to you. This is the new norm, if you pay attention. I know I've said on previous shows about the dragonfly leading me to where all the aloe plants were.
Yeah.
When we moved in here, a black cat met us at the gate.
Oh, wonderful.
me and my wife, Kathy.
Mm.
There was a cat there. I think I told you guys too that I had that
Yeah.
that spiritual experience on Christmas Eve when I quit drinking. That cat helped me through it.
Wonderful.
They are a network. They're
Yeah.
faster than they're faster than the internet, man.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking that I wasn't alone gardening. I had a red-breasted robin for company as well. So
See that?
I had a red-breasted robin for company in the garden earlier. That was wonderful.
I tell you guys for spirit-animals.com, just read the black box there because it's random and spirit control that easily.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up as we're talking.
Okay.
Hang on. Here's the black box. The correct path has been revealed to you. You know which direction to go. Just go, and all will fall into place. Pretty fitting for you, James. Pretty fitting for you, James.
That confirms how I feel inside. So it's just wonderful to have all these confirmations all the time.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. And knowing your spirit, James, that there's a beautiful reason attached to this. And I know we've had a separate discussion of this. Everything, it's going to be beautiful. It has to be. Everything that happens to us is to keep us on the correct path. When you're good, your path is the right one.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just got this feeling that it's as strong as the feeling I had right from as far back as I can remember. Something doesn't feel right with this reality. Something, despite having no evidence or any way of explaining it, the feeling inside was telling me something isn't quite right. That was confirmed, and I've had this feeling everything's going to work out perfectly. Well, since about 2000, I think it was 2016 or 17 when we had that blood moon. And that feeling is just as strong today, and that keeps me going.
Absolutely. Keeps me going. Trust me. Every once in a while when it's trying to get the best of me, there's physical dis-eases. Something will come in, like just out of the blue, an insect or an animal, and you go and look it up, and the message is like crazy. It's like, you're on the right path, don't worry, we've got this together, all sorts of beautiful statements, and they line up so invigorating. And you just gotta keep telling yourself, this is not the self, my physical body is not me, we are infinite, and then I know that it's just like having a flu. It will go away. It goes away on its own. It's a flu as a cleanse.
Yeah.
You catch a cold, because cold is ether. When you get cold, you're purifying all impurities, all manifested impurities out of you.
Yeah.
The physical knowing of that is invigorating, thanks to Ken Wheeler. He doesn't teach that, but you just get to know it.
Yeah.
Heat is in manifest. Cold is unmanifest. That's why it's frozen and it stands still. That's why you have hard surfaces, which Ken coins as hard light.
Yeah.
Because they're colder.
Yeah.
They don't move. They're not vibrating. Yeah, so we've learned a lot. Standing on the shoulders of greats, but we've got plenty more to learn, and it's a
So, for everybody listening into this hangout, what's your message to them then, Claudio?
Know that this is by design, and it's your test of love. It's your test of knowing that this is upon us for a good reason, and that we are getting a new physical sun and a metaphysical sun right in your temple. So you are loved. You just got to jump in. You have to jump in.
It's a swimming
That's
pool.
it. It's that
You've got to
simple.
jump in. It's a nice
Just
2 or 3
jump in.
lengths to the swimming pool.
Jump in. The water's warm.
It's jumping out the comfort zone. The ego will try and keep you in. Oh no, you don't want to do that. But it's stepping into the unknown.
Well, what
fear.
you thought was a comfort zone isn't.
Right. Exactly.
Well, it's all
Exactly.
about the unknown.
All the way through.
You know,
And
like,
the biggest unknown.
for other people
the biggest
now,
unknown
my
is,
family,
who are we?
my own family is
Yeah.
Hmm.
Don't
How much
forget,
longer do you want to talk for, Claudia? We've been going for an hour. I'm going to stick with these at
No,
the
that's good.
beginning
That's
and the
perfect.
end.
That's perfect. We
Because
probably
you-
just start getting redundant now anyway. We probably already have. So
We'll be going, Claudio! Claudio!
no, it's not me. I just learn from
Claudio!
other people. No, it's not me. It's just learning from other people. It's all good. It's all of us. I learn
It's
from
nice
Karen.
that
I
you
learn
like to
from
share,
James.
though, and you spend your time doing that, Claudia. You know, a lot of people can't be bothered or are so selfish, they only think of themselves.
I'll take thanks for sharing every day of my life. That one's a beautiful compliment, because
So
all
he's
we're doing
part
is
of our
sharing the
family.
vibrations.
We're all messengers.
That's right. That's right. And every one of us is us. We are one.
Well, yeah. Well, Claudio, my darling, James, and chat room. That was really good, Claudio. Thank you so much. But don't go yet. We'll say goodbye off air, but we're just going to end the hangout now.
bet.
So thanks very
Thank
much.
you for everybody. Light a candle. Throw it on Facebook. Tell everybody you get it. On the 15th.
I
and keep
do
'em
like
burning.
candles. Okay, we'll
Light
have to
as
find
many
a
candles
candle.
you can from now till April 2022.
Another one.
Beautiful.
I think I've used most of the candles in the house now. Anyway, Claudio, thank you
Make sure-
so much.
Okay, all right. Okay, take
Carry
care.
on, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to make sure you get a clean candle, not one with nasty scents in it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a natural candle so you don't put any more vibrations of profit in your body.
Yeah, natural candle. Don't buy one of the scented ones unless you really have to. But a candle's a candle, isn't it?
Yeah, they have ones with natural terpenes in them. Those are fine.
Okay. Burn a candle.
Yep.
And think of yourself. Claudio, thank you so much again. James.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claudio.
Thanks, James. If you've not seen part 1 on why we have been celebrating St. Valentine's all these years, please go watch before or after this video. As a reminder, it is the start of a season where Mass, or many loving cleanses, will be across all the acres of all the lands. So why the picture of the gopher coming out of the ground? What does this beautiful being have to do with Valentine's? As with all celebrations, they are astrological, aka biblical. The groundhog coming out of the hole marks a very special event. The next 3 slides will be a 30-second recap of part 1. Remember, we 100% prove to you that this Valentine season brings a major cleanse. Remember this date, as this begins February the 15th. Juno comes out of Annapurna, crossing over the plane of the moon's south and north nodes, leaving only Hygeia and Vesta. This is part of our purification process, our Aquarius or baptismal waters cleanse. We also explain in part 1 that this Valentine season was written in stone at the Hathor Temple in Dendra, Egypt, the weighing of the heart. So on February 2nd, we celebrate a Groundhog Day. We will prove to you this beautiful being is symbolic of the purification process upon us now. The whole is representative of the ether, pure spirit, cleansing waters. The etymology of the word February is cleanse. Febbre in Italian means fever. Thanks Dave Carlson for bringing this to light. Also, know that February is the last month of the year, left for another video. It is important by the end of this video you understand this allegory. This is happening now. Just like a new birth, a new flower, a good sleep, etc. This is the meaning of Capricorn. Are you going to see it? Bear with us for a brief moment. We know that astrology and Mother Nature is in the Bible. We are showing you the astrology. We are showing you Mother Nature. If the Bible is claimed to be an astrology or physics metaphysics book, where is this event? The event in the Bible is called Candlemas. In this painting by Hans Holbein the Elder, the presentation of Jesus at the temple is another allegory of the 12 zodiac signs and the new sun. This remembrance has the dates February 2nd and 14th, predicted by past astrologers. In the second half of the 4th century, it was kept on the 14th. We proved to you in part 1 that this event starts on February 15th, so someone knew. The presentation of Jesus is about your realization of a physical new sun, a new light, at the temple which resides on your shoulders. The metaphysical or spiritual awareness of this event happening to you. This Candlemas was a celebration of lighting candles everywhere, including churches, promoting they are aware of this event. More breadcrumbs left for us. Back to the astrology. On February 11th, before the Valentine season begins on the 15th, 10 planets will be in Capricorn, setting up the emerging from the waters, coupled with a new sun and moon, aligned with your temple. We have Pallas. Note the meanings of these luminaries will be in the video description. Mercury retrograde aligns with Lilith. Venus aligns with Jupiter. Saturn and Pluto near Icarus, who sits at the cusp of Scorpio Capricorn. We won't go through these, but know that there are many star alignments that are in play. The placement of this new moon, which signifies a new sun, is so fitting as it sets up the Valentine's event, that it lines up right between the lunar and solar houses, the center of your being, as explained in part 1. This is the beginning of you emerging from the waters. As a perfect analogy, the gopher is reminding you that you must come out and see the light. Candlemas is also the celebration of the purification of Mary. It is the most ancient of all the festivals in honor of the Virgin Mary. She is also known as Isis, and by these other cultural names, just to name a few. To finalize the astrological connection of Candlemas and the purification of Virgin Mary, somehow we must prove that Mary will be coming from the underworld. Well, we will show you this briefly, as this has already been shown in a previous video. The Mother of all mothers is starting her cleansing of our being. This is round 3 of coming into our crown chakra, our corona chakra, from Pisces into Aries. As explained in part 1, this is the light. This is your aha moment that you will see. The new sun will rise in the east with the Mother on Easter 2022. The animals are here to teach us. Pay attention. They get it. We are about to. Light a candle showing that you get it. You see the light. You are aware of the new physical and metaphysical sun being born. You see the Mother of all mothers has come back from within to show you this light. You are about to witness the solar return of all solar returns on April 2022. Now get out your physical candles as your internal candles are being cleansed. Join us by lighting a candle on social media and in your home. This is the Candlemas we've been waiting for. There will be a couple more slides for those wanting to see more details, else much love and respect, brothers and sisters. All will be good. Applying what we know to geography, we've proven how the constellations line up with a 2D projection map called the Gleason map, explained in another video. This is being used for research to understand weather phenomena. The new sun, moon on your spine will be exactly as shown here on the original house locations of the Dendra zodiac. Not surprising that it is the only stretch of open waters across the map, from Cancer Leo to Capricorn Aquarius. Coincidence? I think not. Emerging from the waters? Get it? Were the Egyptians preparing us for this event? Anyone know the name of this scene? It is from the Temple of Horus. Is this Candlemas, i.e. we see the light, we get the picture, we understand the lifting of the veil? As can be seen here, Horus, representing you in the middle, is being given his new double crown chakra, his temple signifying he's learned. Isis on the left is from Lower Egypt, or Queen of the Underworld, or the purified Virgin Mary. Remember the gopher coming out from underground. And Nephthys on the right from Upper Egypt, or Queen of the Heavens, or Mary Magdalene. The Egyptians were preserving in stone the story of you seeing the light on the physics and metaphysics of both Marys, yin versus yang, above versus below, or spirit versus material. Special thanks to all these beautiful people for all their passionate work. Peace and love. Words within the song Stairway to Heaven. There's still time to change the road you're on.